naturally out of waking up, dropping off body and mind, is service, serving others. It naturally arises from that experience. And so it's stepping off the pole in the sense of our practice, nothing to hold on to. I kind of love that image, because people do that. They sit on flagpoles, right? I don't know if people do it anymore, but they used to sit on flagpoles for days. I don't know why. But there's, and I just think of like a little, you know, like about a 5-inch, and you're kind of standing on it like those Mormon angels with one foot in the air, and just that thing we're holding on to, that last idea of self, or I have to have what? The thing I have to be happy. The last thing we're holding on to, and just push off, just let go. And letting go, basing in the 10 directions, it says, and then appropriate action becomes obvious. And wherever we go, they say, wherever we go, there will be no place where you are called dishonorable. So when we're living our life from no self, every action is honorable. And of course, who does that? The self keeps popping up. Greed, anger, ignorance is with us always. So then all of these things are cyclical. These lists of things like climb the pole, then step off and be totally enlightened and totally serving as no self and being honorable in every situation. Wouldn't that be nice? Then bam, there we are at the bottom of the pole again. Climb the pole. So it's all going on at the same time. And the way I see it, as long as we have hormones, we will experience greed, anger, and ignorance. We will want, maybe we'll go a long time not having any once, and then just go past the store window and see a glittery thing, and that want comes up again. And anger, we can be just loving everything, being totally love, and somehow our button gets pushed, we get triggered, and we find ourselves in raging anger again. So then we work with that, work with desire by being it. Don't act on it, be it. I have taken, my latest thing is I shop online and I get my cart full and I get the coupons and I buy everything and then I just delete it all. And I'm sometimes not, sometimes I push the little send, but I love that feeling of maybe spending 15 minutes buying plants. That's why I like to buy bulbs. And just delete it, or accessories for my phone, and then just delete it. But yeah, I'm the perfect example, not. But anyway, that's one thing I do. But when desires arise, make some space with it before jumping on the person or grabbing the second piece of cake or whatever. Just watch that feeling, and you can. I do that too. I go into bakeries and just look, and some people say you can never do that, but it's somehow satisfying to me, and I kind of go through it like, okay, this would be what I'd buy, and then I think about after I eat it how I feel and stuff, and then I walk away. So make a little space. Yesterday though, in Idlewild, I got this thing that's called a cream puff cake. I got a piece of that. They've got an amazing bakery in Idlewild. But so sometimes we don't. Sometimes we act out the desire, and then watch that. Watch how that felt. Watch how the body felt. How did that work out for you? Chasing that desire. And of course, some desires are how we live our life. That's my desire to get more education, my desire to get a job, my desire to, it's good desire. So have that little space, and then is this something I really want? So then it becomes a vow. So I want to get enlightened. Is that really what I want to do? And to wake up, to drop off body and mind means 100% commitment. Absolutely means 100% commitment. Although, yes, Seisen Roshi said that's not true. 80% is enough. Everything. And I said that to myself. I am willing to do what it takes to wake up. And that has to be the mindset to wake up. I'm willing to do what it takes. Same thing. Get a job. Get more education. Have a nice relationship. I'm willing to do what it takes to do this, and then it goes out of desire and becomes a vow. My vow is to get a better job. My vow is to have a nice relationship. Same with anger. Our anger is triggered. That person has done me wrong, and we find ourselves in blame. The reason my life isn't working is because of all of you, and I could tell all of you what you're doing that's making my life not work. That blame comes up, and just watch it. Before we go ranting and raving, like today's Mother's Day, poor moms. Speaking of ranting and raving, they probably get it the most. Before we go and explain once again why it's her fault that my life didn't work, have a little space with the anger. Feel the anger without the story. Sit with it. Sit with just the anger. Because there's a reservoir of anger, because we've told ourselves not to be angry so many times, we've stuffed it. So before we act out, before we have a temper tantrum, sit with it. And then there's righteous anger. People should not be hungry. War is just silly. So when the anger becomes a vow, I vow to end hunger. I vow to end war. I vow to do what it takes to do that. So turn the righteous anger into a vow, and then that's action. Both of those, greed and anger, become action. And the spaciousness, the ignorance is, you know what ignorance is. Don't want to see it, don't want to hear about it, I don't want to look at myself. The ignorance, again, when that comes up, and yesterday in Idlewild I was talking about this again to somebody, when I'm sitting sometimes this little voice goes, that's not Zen, don't go there, that's not Zen. And it takes me a while to go, what? Wait a minute, what exactly is it that's not Zen? That's the thing I'm ignoring. So to be willing, and again, I'm willing to do what it takes to face my stuff. And make that vow. And then some things come up and it's like, not ready right now. Don't want to look at that one. And what's the stuff to look at? Our friends will tell us. So when you're feeling angry, when a friend is talking to you, when the anger's triggered, that's something to look at. It's telling you that's something that's sore, that's disowned, as the shrinks say. So as we open up to the things we're ignoring, we become that spaciousness, which is the jumping off the 100-foot pole. The spaciousness of no self, the freedom of no self. And that's what he said, every direction. You can turn in every direction and be honorable. Isn't that wonderful? Don't you want that? So let go. Let go. And if you're holding on, have awareness about, I'm right about this. When you fall into it, I'm right about this. I want to be right, and I want you to acknowledge that I'm right. That's the thing you're holding on to. Let go. And then this point of that Bodhi mind is service. So awakening is service. And how do we serve? And all of us do it differently. We have different personalities, we have different abilities, we have different capacities, we have different karma. So wherever you're giving love, that's service. Yourself, your family, your community, that we don't have to really think about. It's just automatically comes out of no self. And from the Theravada standpoint, the way to practice that, because from the Buddhayana, which is the enlightened perspective of the precepts, automatically we serve and we manifest love automatically. From the Theravadan, we practice it. So from the Theravadan, we act as though we're Buddha. We don't lie. We don't steal. We do things for others. And that little voice may be going, "Why? I don't want to do this. Whatever." So it's the practice as though. And then one day you find out, or one day the realization comes, I'm acting like Buddha? I'm sitting like Buddha? Who am I then? It's like who's buried in Grant's tomb. Who could I be if I'm acting just like Buddha? I must be Buddha. One day that will happen and we'll see it. So I encourage all of you to make strong vows and let go. Let go of whatever you're holding on to. Let go of the top of that pole. And let go of your awakening. And just be love, which is service.